Chemistry people, I just want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that you want to think about as you complete that lab that you come and picked up in your packet like I asked you to. I put some filter paper in there for you. It kind of feels like, a coffee filter, but it's our lab grade filter paper. You're going to need to use this stuff. It won't work with other types of paper. It's only going to work with this type of paper. Okay, so what the lab is pulling apart the pigments that make up markers. The marker pens typically have more than one pigment, though not all of them do. This red one might actually just be red. You know that when you get your soda, it says it has red number 2 and yellow number 5 and stuff like that. So they do the same thing with these pens, and the thing is the pigments each have a different amount of stickiness to them as you dissolve them. So some of them will stick to the paper more than others. Others will, like as the water absorbs in these things, get pulled further across the paper. So that's what we want to do. We want to pull apart the pigments by using filter paper and a little bit of salt water. So in there you got several of these. You've got like a petri dish. You don't have to do it with a petri dish. If you want to, you can cut this thing into a square. And if you do it like that, if you cut it into a square, then what you're going to do is you're going to take a pencil and you're going to draw a line across the bottom of it like that. And that'll be about 1 inch or less from the bottom of the page. And that's just so that you don't want to stick your you don't have water that's deeper than that, because you're going to be sticking this paper down into your salt water. You're then going to take the pens and you're going to put a big old fat dot of different colors of pigments there, and those are the things that are going to get pulled apart. You don't want them too close to each other because they'll bleed into each other. You put it in the water will start to go up through it, it'll hit these, and then it'll start to pull that pigment with it, and then hopefully by the end you'll see if there was blue and red and yellow or green or whatever pigments in it. If you want to, you're going to do it this way. Just get a glass cup and stick it in there, and don't let the thing touch the sides though, but have a glass cup and then stick that in there, and so that the water pulls up through the stuff. If you're touching the edges, the water will start to go up the sides faster and smear things across this way. So you really need to make sure that just the bottom is in the dissolving solution. There was also in there a way to kind of do this in another way, and that would be with circle and a petri dish. Fill your petri dish with a little bit of salt water, and then they have in there that you can punch a hole in the center, or I guess another way to do that would be like we're making things for Christmas, right? We could just cut a circle out in the middle, and then you're going to use one of your extra pieces of filter paper to make a little spirally funnel thing. And I'm just showing you this. So like maybe you do your cutting and get this little extra bit, you're just going to kind of turn it into a little shape like this. And this is going to be your wick. Okay, so that you don't stick this right into the water, you'll use it as a wick. I think my hole was a little bit too big. They say use a hole puncher. Okay, well it's the basic idea, so I didn't do that very well. Okay, anyway, so your wick's going to go in the middle. It's just going to sit there, and the water's going to pull up through here, and then it needs to be touching the edges of your filter paper, like so, so that it will soak in and spread out this way. If you're going to do it that way, don't make as big a hole as I did, just like a hole punch type of hole. And then you're going to take your compass and you're going to draw a line in a circle like this. And then you're going to put your various colors. Nice, heavy, thick dots in a circle around outside that line. So as the water pulls through, it's going to pull and these pigments will separate heading out toward the edge of your paper. The nice thing about this is you can use a whole bunch of different pens. I think the experiment says to use 3. Use as many as you've got available. You can do this again with a different set of colors. You can keep these spread out, maybe do 3 or 4, but then do another one. I want you to be creative. I give you plenty of markers. Maybe you've got your own, right? I'm sure that, like Braden, you just play with markers all day anyway. So be creative. I want you to try other things too, like if you've got a Sharpie, you might want to put that there. Sharpie obviously won't react the same way these other ones will, but if you're creative, you might be able to think of a solvent that can actually break down your Sharpie. Okay, so you might want to research that, but like dissolves like, and so you want to get something that feels a little bit more permanent. What dissolves really nasty stuff, okay? So probably some bonus points if you think about using a Sharpie, and then what might kill that. Anyway, make sure that you don't let how big of a thing do I need here? That you don't let your filter paper just sit in the water. It needs to have a wick. It needs to have a wick so that when it pulls up, it spreads fairly evenly, either circle ways, or if you do it square, that it's sitting in it and just the bottom layer is touching. It's going to absorb that water in and pull it through. You don't need any kind of fancy salt. You just need some table salt, and you really don't even need a whole lot. You shake it out like this, mix it up with some water, put it at the bottom of the petri dish or of the glass. But yeah, be creative. It's very, very colorful, and then it suggests that you can put like your oven on really low and then heat it for maybe 5-10 minutes to dry it out, and that'll help you kind of like see the pigments and stuff. You might mess up. That's why I give you extras, but be creative and be colorful. And if you got questions, make sure that you contact me, please, somehow. And yeah, because this is one of the best ones. I used my kids' markers and whatnot to get this one done. Answer all the questions. Get that back to me later this week. Yeah, okay, that's it.